Well, hello YouTube. Welcome back to the Bison Workshop. I'm Bob, and this one's not going to be a good video. I'm going to do a product review, and I'm going to name names. I'm mad, and you guys will understand here in just a minute why. You know, as hard as I try to give people good credit where credit is due, they sure do make it hard for me to do so. We just got this chuck in the mail. I used it, and you know what? I marred it up because I really didn't give a shit. So, you know, I was so pissed off at this thing that it wasn't funny. So, it's basically worthless. When I took this apart, these were in there just like that right there. Alright? These holes right here were filled with metal shavings. I have yet to figure out where them metal shavings came from, because I used it one time and it was brand spanking new. I used it for one drill bit. I put the second one in when I went to go back to the original one, because I realized I wanted to go all the way through on the piece of work. You know, so I started drilling it again. When I took the second bit out of it, it locked up. Well, I finally did get it apart, and I'm going to tell you, this was the devil to get unscrewed. I mean, it was hard the whole way off. This whole thing right here. And if you notice, right here, you see them threads, what they look like? I don't know what the purpose of that was, but there's 3 of them. One right there, and one right there. Well, that seems to be keeping me from getting this screwed down on there. Not to mention, when I unthreaded this, it got up to the point where it didn't go no further. It was stuck there, and it was still hard to turn. I couldn't turn it by hand. And it was clear out to there. So it was destroying threads. So what I believe has happened here, and it don't look like it should be in bad a shape, enough shape to cause that. And don't pay any attention to those marred marks. I really don't care about this chuck. I'm pissed at it. I just soon take this and throw it in the scrap. That's exactly how I feel about it. It's the biggest piece of $29 piece of junk I've ever bought. But the threads are kind of messed up right there. And when I went to unscrew that, and it was right there, it was up as far as it would go any further. I could not get it off there. I actually had to take this into the press, put a piece of metal underneath there, and press that apart. I don't know why it was like that. These tracks look really good. There's no messed up spots on them. I mean, yeah, I had to file a little bit right here because it had a little burr right there, but it wasn't enough to make any change in the way this thing worked. Well, now I've got it to work okay. Let me put these back in. And they're not all that easy to do. But I can tell you right now, I despise this chuck. I'll never have another keyless chuck. I hate keyless chucks. I've always hated keyless chucks. I like a keyed chuck. Yes, you got to keep up with the key, but they work so much better. Alright, so then I tried to screw this on there. I do have it working correct. It's got a little hard spot right there. Right there. And then once it gets past it, it's okay. Alright, so then I go and try to put this on, and it ain't happening. It will not thread on there. So the threads are messed up on this. And in order to fix this, I've got to take these jaws clear out. Somehow get this apart. I've tried unscrewing this. I've tried pressing it off after I took the Allen screw out. This thing doesn't want to come apart. There is no videos on YouTube telling you how to take these apart, because the Chinese decided that they would make it so you couldn't take it apart. You know, so I don't know how this comes apart, and at this point I really don't care about it coming apart, because I'm about ready to scrap it. It's the biggest piece of shit that ever frickin' was ever designed. You know, that's bullshit. You know, all them metal shavings in that hole, cluttering this hole up, that went in there like that, and this thing was full of metal shavings. So the moral of the story: don't buy this Chinese piece of shit that I'm going to put in the description just so you can see who I bought it from and how much I paid for it, who they are, who to stay away from. You know, it's bullshit. You know, if you're going to make something, make it good. Don't send something out that's got metal shavings in it already. You know, I'm beginning to wonder if somebody didn't use this and they just cleaned it up and sent it back to me. I don't know. It looked brand new. It looked like it had never been used, but it doesn't matter now. It's scrap. In order for me to fix that, I have to get this piece off, chuck this up in the lathe, and turn about a thread and a half off that's messed up, so it gets back to the original, and then kind of clean that edge off so that this will screw down on there. What's happening is the first thread and a half is about destroyed, and these opposite threads that's in there, I guess they're acting as a lock, but it seems to be hindering me getting that in there. So don't buy Chinese pieces of junk, man. If you want a drill chuck, you don't want keyless. Get a keyed one. This one here never had a fail once in it. The one I had with my Grizzly never had a fail, not once. I've always had keyed chucks, and anyway, tomorrow we're going to go ahead and put all these pieces together. I got all the pieces painted up for the mechanism that goes onto the transfer case. Got all of them cleaned up and painted, and just about ready to go on. So I hope this works. I hope I know what I'm doing. So anyway, that's my review on a Chinese chuck. You use it for a drill bit and a half, and it's done. There ain't no such thing as a warranty on those. I should have bought it myself, because then I would have control. Then I could go and say, hey man, this thing's a piece of shit and I want my money back, or I want another drill chuck. But I've already marred this one up, so I was so damn pissed off I didn't give a shit. So let this be a lesson to you guys, with me as the guinea pig. Don't buy junk. You guys have a good one. Later.